It's 5 o'clock.
We are live.
We are live. Hello, everybody. How exciting is this? The show is here.
Yes.
Before I forget, by the way, we should never do this again using Memo Call for my desktop, okay? We have to switch it back. This is terrible. My fans are at 5,600 RPM. I have my laptop sitting on an ice pack, and I've got a big cardboard box trying to block the audio from my microphone, and I can still hear it really loud.
Well, so, I don't hear your fans.
I know, but
other than the folks in the chat room.
That's what you mean, right? Oh, I've got, let's see, I've got my visual aids here. I don't need my glasses. I've got spare ice packs over here for when those wear out. Alistair can hear the fans. See? Alistair believes me. I can, let's see, I'm sharing my screen, but I'm not sharing that, I guess. So let's take some roll call here. We've got Brett, Kevin, Marty's back again for some more punishment here. Rick, Sandy, Steve, Frank, Alistair, and let's see who's in the sidebar that might likely actually be here. We haven't seen Nick in a long time. Oh, yeah. John is here, and WidgetBot. Uh-oh, who's coming in as WidgetBot? And oh, there's WidgetBot and TitanBot. I don't trust those bot people, you know? All right. Let me drop in the intro music and drop it down a bit. I think you guys like it about there. Yell at me if it's above there. Let me arm that track. And we do a test recording. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, and that is too loud. Somehow my interface is at like 7 dots here. Come on, one more. Come on. There we go. 4 dots. Oh, I wonder if that's why it was so loud.
What? Why?
Yeah, that's why the fans were so loud. My input was up too high.
Wait,
so I was hearing it.
Oh,
my
I
input
see.
volume. So that's, amplifying the sound. So let me try this again. Actually, I think this should be a little higher. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com. Okay, let's hear playback. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com. All right, Steve says he hears playback. Okay, Rick's got the thumbs up. Steve's got the thumbs up. Sandy says sounds good. All right, we are ready to go. And that annoying guy in the corner says it sounds good too. And Alistair says it sounds good. Alistair's my hero today, by the way. He spent, like 3 hours with me yesterday playing with a photo. He kind of dragged me into the madness of what he does to make a photo look good. But man, my photo looks good now.
And did he actually identify a coloration issue with your monitor?
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, there's something funny going on with my 5K display, and I cannot explain this. We were messing around with the gradient in the sky, and I said, I don't know why, but it looks pink. There's like a black
and white photo, right?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's a black and white photo, but it looks like this pink band in the middle of it. And he says, well, it doesn't look that way to me. And he had a copy of the file. And so I took a screenshot of it and I put it into Telegram. And in the screenshot, I can see the pink band just in the image. So I don't know how that happened at all. I don't know.
It's like one of those black and white photos where you pick just one color to highlight in the photo, it pops.
Except yeah, you were my witness, right, Steve?
A subtle pink thing on the horizon, subtle pink band, like it was almost intentional.
Yeah.
Rose-tinted glasses.
That's the initial photo, which I thought was a pretty cool photo to start with.
But yeah, that is the Manhattan Beach Pier, correct?
Oh, is it? I said thought it was Hermosa.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, Manhattan Beach is the one that's got all the like bars and stuff, right?
Bars?
Yeah.
Like drinking
establishments? Or is that Hermosa? Maybe that's Hermosa. I don't know. It's one of the piers. Oh, John had a very important question.
Oh, here's the second one. That's for, yeah. I like
John's
the black
question?
And white.
They say if you display an American flag upside down, it means you surrender. What does it mean if Allison's playing her Apple pillow upside down? Oh, no.
Oh.
I usually check these.
That means...
Hang on.
Oh, boy. Good catch. Very good catch.
That was close. Well, I was in distress. My audio wasn't working. My video wasn't working. So anyway, yeah. So doesn't that picture look cool?
It does. Now my
Cover
video
engine and
seems to be delayed.
Does it?
Yes, and I'm at 97%. Oh, that's nice.
Really?
Wow, interesting.
Mimosa Beach. Actually, Steve, you need to figure out which beach it is because we need to be able to say that.
On the show tonight or just eventually?
No, at some point.
Yes.
All right, I should probably start recording because
Yes,
I
let's
have
do
a
this.
fair amount of content here.
A lot of recorded content.
Yeah, but a lot of other content too. Okay, here we go. Muting Steve. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, January 19th, 2020, and this is show number 767. Well, as we start this fun-filled but not mammoth-sized episode, I have to wonder how many of you stayed till the bitter end last week. If you did, there was a little Easter egg. I don't think it was like epic or anything, but I made myself laugh, and that's all that's really important to me. Well, speaking of this week, we have lots of varied content. We're going to kick off with a review of Masterclass by Terry Austin. Then we have a big treat. I convinced Steve to be in front of the camera for one interview at CES. The interview was with a company called Aquark, which is working on miniaturizing quantum technologies. I was clearly not the right person to do the interview, and he was clearly the right person. Next up, after that, I'm going to tell a tale of fantastic Mac tech support from an unexpected place, Microsoft. Then we pick back up on our CS coverage with Steve and my favorite interview of the show. It's with a company called Navitas, and we learn how their gallium nitride semiconductor technology is able to shrink our mobile device chargers and make them super light at the same time. It is a nerdy and awesome interview. After that, I'm going to tell you about three of the gallium nitride. I'll get it right. Gallium nitride, they call it GaN, so I'll call it GaN. After that, I'm going to tell you about three of the GaN chargers Navitas gave me and how awesome they are. We're not done yet. We've got two more interviews in the show. The first is for the Sense Electricity Usage Monitor, which is a device you can put in your home to monitor all of the devices using power. Looks really cool. And then in more of the future technology space, I'll talk to the folks working on the Jenny water generation system that literally takes water vapor out of the air and makes drinkable water. Now, like I said, not as long as last week, but tons of great and varied content. Before I forget, on Super Bowl Sunday, I will not be doing the show on Sunday. I'm not sure when I'll do it, maybe Saturday afternoon, not sure. Probably hard to do a live show because I'm going to be down at, we're both going to be down at Lindsay's for Super Bowl. But Super Bowl Sunday, you're off the hook. You don't have to come to class, okay? Everybody in the chat room, you heard that? No Super Bowl Sunday class here. All right, save because Steve demands it.
So it was the Manhattan Beach Pier.
Oh, it is.
I will drop it in here just so people can compare that.
Oh, man, that's a better picture. Whose picture is that?
That's off Wikipedia.
Yeah, that's the police station. So that's the one I run by that one.
Right.
That's Manhattan. Are you sure?
That's the one I run up to. Oh, you don't? No, you run by Hermosa.
No, I don't run. No, I don't run out to the one with the little house on the end. I run the one I go to doesn't, it's got a station at the beginning, but not that.
All right.
I'll take it. You'll take Manhattan. I'll take a Manhattan. All right. Let's go. Tutorial, making a chapter. Copy. Okay, on SCO is good enough. All right. Here we go. Come on. Now I only swapped it. Okay. No. Now I only switched over to Carbon Copy Cloner from Super Duper a few months ago, but I am a total convert. I wanted to learn more about it, and the best way to learn is to teach. So I decided to do a video tutorial for Screencasts Online all about Carbon Copy Cloner. Before I started making my mind map using my beloved iThoughts, of course. I thought I knew the basic depth of Carbon Copy Cloner. I mean, I had the feel of it, how it works, and I figured this one would be pretty easy. But I was wrong. This tool is incredibly powerful, and it can provide much more capability than I ever realized. Now, if you'd like to see the video on Screencast Online, the tutorial that I made, you'll have two choices. You can start a free 7-day trial of the Screencast Online service and watch Carbon Copy Cloner and everything from the back catalog you can fit into that 7 days, or you can become a subscriber to Screencast Online. Now, if you want to sip Screencast Online on a month-to-month basis, it's only $8 a month to get the full weekly show that's like 35 to 45 minutes and a weekly tip video. Or you can go with the annual plan and pay $72, which works out to like around $6 a month. I have to warn you, it's dangerous to try the service because you're very likely to become a subscriber. Now, don't blame me if you end up loving it and you can't resist it. Now, back to the video, I have to say that I was very nervous making this tutorial on Carbon Copy Cloner because I wasn't sure I could do justice to it. The options can get pretty deep, so I was worried, what if I said some really dumb things in it? I decided to do something I've never done before. I sent the pre-released rough cut video to the developer, Mike Bombick of Bombick Software, before I let the Screencast Online editors work on it. I was quite gratified to get this response back from Mike. He wrote, "This is incredible. This is better than any video I've put together. You're very good at this. I watched the whole thing. You even gave a shout out for simple mode. Simple mode is often overlooked, and obviously it can do a lot less, but has a very warm space in my heart." So, as Bart would say, I guess I didn't make a dog's dinner out of my video on Carbon Copy Cloner. All right, time for, let's see, what is it? Oh, Shift Enter. Nope. There it is, marker.
Is Terry here tonight?
I don't know. Are you keeping track?
I don't see him.
Terry just dropped this in out of the blue. And it's very fun.
Alistair, I think Allison picked that up from Dawn or Bart.
Well, it turns out I've listened more carefully. Dawn says a dog's breakfast, and Bart says a dog's dinner.
Oh.
So the basic idea is when you're done with you got leftovers and you just scramble it all up and throw it in the dog bowl. That's not what you want to do in your videos.
So it's the Irish versus English difference here. And then we
apparently totally different.
The Kiwi method, which is dog's breakfast.
Oh, Kiwis, you say dog's breakfast?
Apparently.
Okay. We don't normally say anything, but I like that phrase. All right, let's hear how this transition sounds. My video on Carbon Copy Cloner.
Hello, fellow castaways. Terry Austin here, and I have just got to tell you about the best Christmas present ever that I sort of gave myself. Well, really, my sweetheart got me $100 in iTunes gift cards from Costco at about 80% of their market value. Her mother got me another $50 in iTunes cards. So there I am looking at a balance of about $150 in my App Store account, right? Well, like many of you, I've seen advertisements for quite a while now for masterclass.com. I installed their app on my iPhone course.
Hi, Rose. You're late. You know what that means. Buying drinks next week. I love it. All right. I've got to record a little more here.
So go check it out. And along the way, remember to stay subscribed.
Hey, thanks for that ending there, Terry. I actually have a masterclass subscription, and I'm really enjoying it too. I'm not going the cooking route, but rather I've been watching Steve Martin teach comedy, and it's awesome. You would think that's something that can be taught, but he's actually a very thoughtful guy, and he's worked out like a process of how to be funny. It sounds strange, but it's really, really good. I'm also learning to be a director from Ron Howard. While I'm more likely to become a stand-up comedian than I am to become a movie director, it's so fascinating to learn how he creates the magic that he creates. I also like watching him because Steve and I are rewatching The Andy Griffith Show on Netflix, and it's fun to see the 6-year-old Ronnie and the 60-year-old run back to back. I'm really glad Terry did this review, though, because I had no idea there was an app for iOS. I've been using the masterclass.com website, and while it worked, the app is ever so much more delightful. Also knowing that I can do audio only when that's all I can actually listen to is awesome. The Ron Howard one, for example, it's just him sitting there talking, so you could totally do just the audio on it. Steve Martin has a lot of bits that he shows. He shows himself with like the arrow through his head and stuff. And that's kind of funny to actually see. Anyway, thanks very much, Terry, for sending this in and letting us know that you can use iTunes gift cards to pay for it, because that 20% off deal, those come from time to time, more often the 15% off, but then getting that off the price of Masterclass, very, very cool. And now for Steve's first appearance in 2020. All right. Here we go. I think we're going to listen to the whole thing. What do you think, Steve?
I don't know if you want to subject them to that.
Of course we do. All right, let's see. A quark. I thought it was a capital Q, no?
No, it's not. I thought it was too, but it's not.
Okay. Copy link. You're careful and check that sort of thing. All right. Let's have a listen. Now, Steve, you have to put your face up instead of mine. And now for Steve's first appearance in 2020.
I'm here with Dr. Andre Dragomir with Aquark Technologies, and he is about to describe to us a very novel technique and technology for quantum computing and devices that can be made with miniaturized quantum computers. Could you talk to us a little bit about that, Andre?
Yeah, hello. Everybody heard of the quantum computer and how it can change the world, can leave semiconductor technology behind. What most people don't know is that together with the quantum computer, quantum technology brings along a huge array of different sensors, like time measurement, gravity measurement. You can even go as far as making a navigation system that doesn't need connection to a satellite, for example, and has huge precision. And we are here to miniaturize all the current technology that's currently in laboratory environments and bring it to everyday user. So if you like the processor of quantum technologies, the cold atom system, and it generally looks like that. It occupies a huge room and it requires several PhD students to run, so experienced personnel is definitely not currently fit for field applications. However,
so this is what would you call this? A quantum computer, or
no? It's a simple quantum system. So it's like what lies at the heart of the quantum computer and different quantum technologies.
So this is the device that would allow you to establish atoms or whatever in a quantum state and measure their state.
That's exactly it. And we have managed to miniaturize all that into just this. Which is in that tiny device.
This tiny little thing.
Which is a miniaturized integrated vacuum chamber specifically designed for cooling down atoms.
So this obviously has no cryogenics associated with it. Tell me how are you keeping this cold, or what do you do to cool it?
So in order to cool atoms down, you generally need lasers, which is a bit counterintuitive because you think lasers, it heats things up, but actually if you use them properly, you manage to localize the atom in a single place, you're reducing their kinetic energy, and so it just cools down almost down to 0 Kelvin, so absolute zero. So beyond having a miniaturized vacuum chamber, you also need, we also develop novel laser geometries that will accomplish that, and our first design for a product would be an atomic clock, which is right here. So,
can we show the camera this? So the device that we're holding up, this quantum clock, measures about 3 by 4 by 5 inches on the side. It's a cube. Inside are a few modules and a couple wires, but it's amazingly simple. Can you say a few more words about that?
Yes. So generally now the second is measured to an SI unit in London, and the National Physics Laboratory have a huge room to measure that second. Well, most of the things that are in that room are fit in this box, and we can measure time to a resolution to 10 to minus 11 seconds with this system.
That is amazing. So you're not actually doing quantum computing with bits, but you're doing quantum measurement devices. Is that fair to say?
That's the first stage. So the same technology can be applied to everything from time measurement up to quantum computing and quantum memory. But this will be our first stage to actually get into the market.
And then what stage would you call this?
That's pre-first stage. So that's everything. That's the magic that allows us to miniaturize technology to this level.
Okay, so this quantum clock that I described, this 4x5 by 3 inch cube, is that available and working today, or what state is this in today?
Right. So this today, it can be built upon request.
Gotcha.
That's the status we're at.
Okay, and then this other device, this very small, like half-inch on a side cube, what kind of time frame are we talking for this kind of a device?
So that is already available as soon as we have customers. So that's one of our main points of being here. So we're first looking for partners, customers, and maybe, who knows, investors, and we can make this more than just a lab-based device.
So it would appear that you would be marketing not as much initially to consumers, but companies that build devices that could incorporate quantum technologies, quantum measurement.
Exactly. So first of all, we are planning on getting a bit of traction with universities and research groups. That was going to be the first year or so of our development. And the aim is to become the processor of quantum technology in, let's say, 10 years' time, so that every car, satellite, or train will be based on our devices.
This is fascinating. I really applaud what you're doing. So the company name again is
Quark Technologies, and you can find more about us at futureworlds.com, where we have a profile set up, and you can also find out more about other startups that are joining us today as well. So futureworlds.com, that's the place to be.
Fantastic, Andre. Thank you very much. It was wonderful to hear about what you're doing, and I like to see this in the real world someday.
Thank you. Hopefully we're going to get there. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for the interview.
Awesome. Thanks.
Boy, that interviewer just wouldn't stop.
Yeah,
Kept
that was
droning
long.
on and on and on.
How long was that?
It was probably 6
Let's
minutes.
see. Yeah, my stupid. The Finder got wrecked. Used to be able to just look and see how long an audio file was. It's not showing me. That was long. Let's see, how long did you drone on? I can find it in here. Nope. It's not in. It's not even get info. How do you tell how long it? Maybe it's because it's sitting over on the NAS that I can't see it. Oh well.
I'll take a look.
Well, it's only going to take longer if I keep looking for that. All right. Let's see. Let me do a little bit of recording.
Get there. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for the interview.
Awesome. Thanks.
So, am I right? Was Steve the right guy to do the interview? I think my favorite part was after he showed him the quantum clock. Steve said, "Yeah, that looks pretty simple." Okay, maybe simple to you. Well, hey, I want to give Canada a special shout out for how much they bought from Amazon via the Amazon affiliate links on podfeet.com in the last month. I'm always telling you guys, if you use the link to a mic or a charger or something else technical on the site, and then you end up buying anything else or buying anything that you buy in that same session, a small percentage of all of that goes to help the show. And Canada came through like a champ this month. Canadians bought a USB mic, a Fire TV stick, Anchor cable, an iPhone 10 or 10S case, but they also bought water filter cartridges, shoes, pillows, espresso cleaning kits, and more. I got to tell you, every tiny little bit adds up to really, truly help the show. I know the ever modest Canadians will be shy about accepting praise, but I'm giving it anyway. Thank you, oh Canada. And by the way, there are tons of Amazon affiliate links coming up in my review of the gallium nitride chargers. Or you can always just go to podfeet.com/Amazon to help the show. All righty. And help Steve. Oh, you bought some socks tonight, John? Awesome.
Socks rock.
Totally. All right. This is gonna be crazy.
Did you do your save?
I may have. Let me do this and do that and do that and do this and do that and do that and then do save. All right. We're going to talk about Excel now.
Your favorite.
Yes. When you look at the link, Steve, is the video there? It is not displaying correctly in my...
For Microsoft?
Yeah, there should be a video in the paragraph that starts with "sadly for me."
Yes. Yes.
right.
It doesn't show a initial page, but the video does play.
I mean, there is a video.
Yes.
Okay.
Embedded.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Muting Steve. Come on. Why are you not starting? Come on. Uh-oh. Shoot. Oh, man. Just bump that. You know, I've been a big fan of Excel for ages, but I often disparage Office 365's version of Excel. Damn it. I bumped the volume, and I don't want it working that hard. You know, I've been a big fan of Excel for ages, but I often disparage Office 365's version of Excel. On my previous Mac, every single time I opened a spreadsheet, even an empty one, after 2 or 3 minutes, I would get a spinning pizza wheel for like 10 seconds. And then it would go away and it wouldn't come back until the next time I opened a spreadsheet. I don't think it's happening on my newer Mac, which is inexplicable since they were both clean installs. When I first started begrudgingly using Office 365, I also hated the animations when you move cells and such, but I figured out how to turn them off and I was a little bit happier. I was excited to get Excel on my iPad, but it's so limited, I pretty much hate using it. Even simple things like changing the format of numbers is extremely limited. This week, I was recording fan rotation in RPM, clock speed in gigahertz, and temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. And I wanted to do custom formatting so that the numbers recorded would remain numbers, but it would display it with the units. But of course, Excel for iPad couldn't do that. And have I mentioned how much I hate OneDrive? So I tried to save a file from Excel on iPad to Excel and iCloud Drive so I could fix the formatting using my Mac, but it moved the file and somehow it didn't sync back to Excel on the iPad inside iCloud Drive. Showed up on my Mac, but now it's not an iCloud Drive on my iPad. I do not understand that. But guess what? None of that is the subject of this article. This is a story of awesome support from Microsoft. But first, there has to be a reason for me to contact Microsoft. You may remember item 28 of the 36 tech things that went wrong in a single day for me, but for the very few of you who didn't memorize the list, let me refresh your memory. Item 28 was that the format painter wasn't working in Excel. This is a fantastic little tool, and I've used it for, I don't know, at least a decade. The problem it solves is when you have one cell or a range of cells formatted just the way you want them, but you have another cell or another range of cells that you wanted formatted just like the first ones. You simply select the source cell, tap the little paintbrush icon in the Excel ribbon, and then tap on the destination cell, and boom, all your formatting has been copied and pasted. Font size, font color, background color, borders, you name it, you can paint it. You can even double click the paintbrush after selecting a source and then paint many times on all different cells to spread the joy. Sadly for me, my paintbrush was broken. I would select the source, tap on the paintbrush, and I'd see the expected marquee, or, sometimes people call them marching ants, as they're, playfully called. Anyway, the marquee was going around where the format had been copied, but before I could tap a destination cell, the ants would quit dancing, indicating the copy was gone from the clipboard. And sure enough, selecting a destination cell would do nothing at all. Now, Excel help, just from the menu is surprisingly good. But on that fateful tech failure counting day, Excel help was a blank window with a spinning wheel. I really should have counted that as an extra failure, but I had enough comedy of errors to make my point, so I let it share the format painter error. No amount of the Googles would shed any light on this problem. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with my format painter. I put up with the lack of the format painter for weeks and weeks. And then one day I thought, hey, I'm paying these jokers $100 a year for this software. Maybe I should make Microsoft help me directly. To my surprise, on the support pages for Office 365, there's a phone number. One of the best things about being retired is that you actually have time to waste on the phone with support. I got a pretty quick call back within a day from my little friend Abayami from Microsoft. At first, he took the classic path of speaking to me as though I was a normal user, that is to say, someone not very technical. But fairly rapidly, he caught on to the fact that I wanted to go much more quickly. He asked to see my screen, which is exactly what I wanted him to do. He explained that they use LogMeIn, which is now owned by Microsoft. He was clearly a Mac guy, not a Windows guy who was begrudgingly working on the Mac team. He kept up with me as I gave log me in the appropriate permissions to record my screen as required by macOS Catalina. Log me in asked not only for him to be able to watch, but also for him to be allowed to control my computer. I explained to Abayami that I would prefer to drive myself and not let him take control, and he immediately agreed. I could see other people thinking that they had to be able to take control, but he gave me no grief at all about it. Another thing I appreciated about Abayami was that on the few occasions where I needed to get a password out of 1Password, he immediately paused the log me in session, and he asked me to verify that I could see it was paused before I revealed any sensitive information. I really appreciated the care and respect he showed. So I opened up an Excel file I had pre-created with some dramatically formatted cells and some unformatted cells. I demonstrated how I could engage the format painter, but how the marquee went away quite quickly and no formatting changes were made. I also explained to him that I had tested the format painter on Steve's iMac, which is also running macOS Catalina 10.15.2, and it worked as expected. While I was demonstrating the problem on my Mac, I told him that it kind of looked to me as though the clipboard was successfully picking up the formatting, but then somehow forgetting it. His diagnostic process was pretty much what you would expect. It was a matter of deletingplists from the user library. I'm as comfortable as anyone in deleting plists, but the trick is to know which ones and all of the places they're buried. He had me delete plists and such from my home directory /library/containers and /library/group containers and reboot, but that didn't fix the problem with Excel. Next, he had me do a full uninstall of Excel, which was more complicated than you would think. You have to download their license removal tool to truly strip Office 365 from your computer. And he then had me remove the plist that we talked about the first time, and of course, trash the application. By the way, he didn't give me a hard time for my having only Excel on my Mac, not Word or Outlook or, heaven forbid, PowerPoint. But anyway, this process didn't fix the problem either. Abayami's next step was to run the uninstall steps again, and this time to download an older version of Excel, 15.41, and the problem was fixed. From within 15.41, I was able to upgrade to Excel 16.15, and it still worked. But from there, we tried going up to the current version, 16.33, and it failed again. So we did the dance and went backward again. He was ready to keep working at that point, but I said I had to go, and he said, hey, I'll call you back tomorrow at the same time. Guess what? He did call me back at the same time the next day. Now, I know that shouldn't be an amazing thing to report, but how often does that happen for you these days that people actually call? I'm still waiting for a call from Tesla from a week ago. Anyway, we started working through some ideas, none of which worked. Then he said he'd been talking to some higher level folks he knew, and one had a new idea. He asked me, by any chance, are you using a clipboard manager? Why, yes, I am. You know, I'm a huge convert to clipboard managers and specifically copy and paste. I disabled copy and paste, and boom, the problem was fixed. Now, if you're listening closely, I gave myself the clue very early on that should have pointed me at my clipboard manager. I told Abayami that the way the ants would begin to march and then stop suggested that the format painter was successfully picking up the format, but that the clipboard was losing the format. Now, rather than give me a hard time for the fact that this was never a Microsoft problem in the first place, Abayami did high fives with me that we'd finally cracked the code on the problem. I commended him for his terrific support, and I signed off. Now, while I was delighted that Abayami had found the root cause of my problem with Excel, I was worried about my beloved copy and paste. I wrote to the developer of copy and paste, Hoy, and I wrote to him with trepidation because I was afraid I was revealing some terribly complicated problem with his software, or at the very least giving him a very difficult task to root out the bug. I shouldn't have worried. Hoy answered me almost immediately, pointing out that copy and paste was working exactly as I had configured it. Now, I'm sure you remember every single detail of my review of copy and paste and my video on Screencast Online about it, so you're probably yelling the answer at your device by now and maybe have been since the very beginning of this article. There are two places in copy and paste where I had actively caused the problem. In the main window down at the bottom is a T. If you tap the T, it turns blue. From then on, it makes anything you paste as plain text. I like having plain text pasting everywhere, so I had intentionally set it this way. Excel was following my express instructions. Hoy went on to explain that if the paste images as files of type transformation under the vertical ... button is enabled, the marquee around copied cells will disappear as a result of that as well. I never would have suspected that control. The good news is that you can turn off transformations easily in copy and paste. I think I'll keep them on, but the next time I need the format painter, I'll know to toggle that feature off in copy and paste. So the bottom line is that Microsoft Office 365 support rocks, Abayami rocks, and so does Hoy from copy and paste. And there is a big typo in there. It says, I'm not a fan.
You aren't.
Of clipboard managers.
You love clipboard managers.
Yeah, but it says I'm not. You all know I'm not a huge convert.
Convert?
Yeah.
Did you mean
so?
fan?
I meant to say you all know I'm a huge convert to clipboard managers. What it said was you all know I'm not a huge convert to clipboard managers. I bet you changed that. I bet you did that when you were editing or something.
I wouldn't dare do that. It's probably Sandy.
All right. I should probably gasp. Let's see. Okay. All right. Oh, we're 26 minutes and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more articles to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Only one of them is live. The other 3 are recorded.
Yeah. So this is going to be Navitas.
As John says, Feliz Navitas.
Yeah. I want to listen to this one again. Do we have time for me to actually listen to it?
How long is your nitride, gallium nitride thing?
I don't know. I haven't recorded it yet.
Well, let me take a look at it.
It's not too long.
Then you probably do.
All right. Let's do it. And so does Hoy from copy and paste. What's that, Steve?
We may go over a little bit, but I think you got time.
Can you tell how long it is?
I'm just looking at. Wait. I'm talking about your post. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know how long this is. Let's see. 26:20. 6 minutes.
I'm talking about real time.
Yeah.
Time on the live show.
I know.
All right.
That's why I need to know how long the gallium nitride is. But I just figured out 6. Okay, here we go. Nope. Nope. Back here. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but a lot of the chargers are starting to get really, really small and really, really powerful. We're starting to see power delivery of 100 watts in devices. And the magic behind that is the new semiconductor technology called gallium nitride. So I'm here with the people who make that happen, Navitas, and this is apparently my cousin Eugene. His name is Eugene Sheridan, the
right.
CEO of Navitas. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks. Great to meet you.
All right, so we're gonna get nerdy, right? You're gonna talk about where did we come from? What did we have before gallium nitride?
Yeah, so for 30 years, power electronics, power supplies, adapters, chargers like this have been designed with a silicon chip. Silicon was okay, but it's actually pretty slow, pretty inefficient. And when switching power supplies are slow, they're big and bulky. They can't deliver a lot of power. They're big in size if you try to deliver more power.
Do they have a lot of heat loss too?
Exactly, and if they're inefficient, inefficiency means the power is wasted as heat instead of getting to your mobile device for fast charging. That is all changing with gallium nitride. We finally invented a new technology to replace this 30-year-old silicon workhorse called gallium nitride, or GaN. It is up to 100 times faster and more efficient than silicon. And it's the engine or the heart of these chargers that can deliver a lot of power to your mobile device and don't waste it. The charging efficiencies can be up to 95%, which means almost all that power is getting to your battery where you want it.
That's fantastic, and way more better for the environment as well.
Exactly.
So, but gallium nitride hadn't just been invented. That's been around for a long time, right?
That's right.
What changed? I mean, it's like in the last year, all of a sudden, gallium nitride's everywhere.
Yeah, and it seems like that to the consumer because it seems to come out of nowhere. But in reality, for 20 years, people are working out the fundamental physics, fundamental reliability, improving cost structure, setting up manufacturing plants. And we came along in the last 5 years to solve the last layer of the problem, which is usually the application problem, kind of like the internet. It's an awesome raw capability. What do you do with it? We took that GaN chip and found this application and had to design it to be optimized for chargers, GaN chargers. And we came up with the world's first GaN power IC where we can integrate a bunch of circuits, not just the transistor, which is the heart of it, but a bunch of analog, digital, and power circuits all on a GaN chip. We're the first company to do that and apply that to GaN chargers. When we did that, we made it easy to design them, cost-effective to design them, and commercially ready. And now we're seeing commercially ready becoming a reality. With 25 GaN chargers shipping today, probably be 50 of these shipping next year.
Wow, that is fantastic. I have seen a couple of companies going, okay, 3 months, we've got one coming out. We've got one coming out. They're not all here yet, but they're also a lot smaller as well. What caused that to happen? Because the efficiency?
Yeah, no, it's a combination of efficiency because you got to get the heat out. If you make it smaller, you have the same amount of heat, it just makes it hotter.
Right. That's what I was wondering, how you cooling
So you've got to get the really efficient, like 95% charging efficiency, as I mentioned. But secondly, it's a switching power supply. The faster you switch, the smaller the energy storage components can become inside the power supply, so you can shrink them down. They hold less energy per cycle because I'm switching so fast that I can miniaturize these little passive components. So you're physically shrinking the size while delivering more power and not wasting that power with high charging efficiency.
Wow, that is very cool. So Navitas makes the semiconductors, and then you guys sell those components to the Anchors and the Belkins and everybody else.
Great name, and everybody, even Verizon is getting in the game. Even for Nintendo Switch, you now have an adapter that can charge your Nintendo Switch fast, and it's got an HDMI port built right in. So the entire HDMI cradle and port device and the power are all combined together. So we're getting a lot of new creative ways now that power can be so powerful and fast charging, but also so small with new form factors and new functions integrated all together.
I know there were dangers early on of trying to charge things too quickly, charging laptops too quickly. I never understood why. Has that been circumvented with this in some way?
It is, in that we don't, there's now very good, ever since the Samsung issue, there's very good battery protection circuitry on the mobile device side. But what's really happening too is that battery technology is slowly but surely getting better to handle more power and charge it faster. For decades, the standard was a 1C battery, which meant the maximum it could be charged is 0 to 100% in an hour. People, the mobile guys, are moving to 2C, 3C, 4C batteries, which literally means you can go from 0 to 100%.
Okay, I think I should get moving. All right.
You're cutting off cousin Eugene.
I know. He didn't write back to me when I
asked
when
for
I
the
wrote
tour.
to him. Yeah, I want to go on a tour. We live actually we used to work in El Segundo, and that's where they that's where they are.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna grab my make my chapter mark here. All right, and then I will save. All right. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Let's see.
Yes. Sounds good, my cousin. Take care.
All right, like I said, that was our favorite interview because it was so nice and nerdy, and yet it isn't something that's pie in the sky. I mean, the quantum computing thing's gonna be amazing, but you can't go out and buy one today. But it turns out this is a little more practical technology. You know, actually, I might have adapted too much. Hang on.
Take care.
I really enjoyed talking to my cousin Eugene there. And like I said, that was one of our favorite interviews because it was so nerdy. But, you know, things at CES are basically vaporware, right? That's what everybody tells you. Everyone knows all the cool stuff we see doesn't necessarily come to market. But when we were done talking to Gene, he handed me a little goodie bag. Inside it were 3 wall chargers that are actually available right now and that take advantage of gallium nitride semiconductor technology from Navitas. I'm going to tell you about each of the chargers, and I want to give you the incentive to listen. These chargers are less than half the weight of the silicon-based chargers you've been hefting around for all these years. Not only are they tiny and light, but they also offer the newfangled technology of power delivery. Now, I've been touting power delivery, also called PD, for a long time, but I have to confess I didn't know exactly what was so cool about it. So, as one does, I went to the source to learn about power delivery. I headed over to usb.org, where they explain in plain English, mostly, why you care about power delivery. They explain that USB power delivery has the following features. It has increased power levels from existing USB standards up to 100 watts. Now, that got me thinking, well, wait a minute, what was the limit before power delivery? According to digikey.com, they put a little table together, and I put it in the show notes. Even with USB-C Type-C, the max power was 15 watts. It wasn't until USB PD 3.0 that the 100-watt dream was achieved. Now, for you weenie laptop owners, you might not care past 65 watts, but those of us with big girl 15 or 16-inch MacBook Pros and other suitably large PC laptops do care about 100 watts. The next thing they explained was that power direction is no longer fixed. This enables the product with the power, host or peripheral, to provide the power. Now, translating what they said there, this allows a phone to charge another phone or a laptop to charge a phone and back. That's pretty cool advancement. They also said that, it can optimize power management across multiple peripherals by allowing each device to take only the power it requires and to get more power when required for a given application. So think about it. Now that we travel with, 12 devices, it's helpful that they will negotiate what they need when plugged into one charger. Imagine a Mac, an iPad, and an iPhone all in one charger, and them all being polite about how much power they draw. The last thing that power delivery gives us is intelligent and flexible system-level management of power via optional hub communication with the PC. Allows low-power cases such as headsets to negotiate for only the power they require. Now, I never thought about headphones as being power hogs, but I guess that could happen. All right, now that we're excited about how light and small the new gallium nitride chargers are, and that we know they give us power delivery, let's talk about the 3 chargers I got to play with. I figured that if I was to keep my nerd badge intact, I should measure the power delivery for each charger. So I bought a USB-C power meter. Fortunately, after 2 tests, the power meter failed on me. I was sad not to be able to give you some geeky measurements, but the vendor's sending me a new power meter for later entertainment. All right, now, how about those chargers, Allison? Well, I'm going to start with the tiniest one. It's a 30-watt charger from a company called Aukey, Aukey, and for some reason it's in all capital letters. This charger is only 3.6 centimeters. I'll say it again, 3.6 centimeters on a side, weighing in at a grand total of 45 grams. This power delivery charger will not only charge an iPhone 11 Pro Max, it's got the same power as the charger that comes with a 12-inch MacBook. Now, in case you don't think in metric, the Aukey USB-C PD charger weighs 23% of the equivalent 30-watt MacBook charger, and it's 49% of the volume. So less than half the size and a quarter of the weight. Seriously, this thing's going to get lost in your bag. The Aukey 30-watt charger also only costs $25 on Amazon, where the Apple 30-watt replacement charger will run you $49. So the Aukey is half the price. I started poking around, and Aukey has a ton of other USB-C PD chargers with gallium nitride on Amazon. They've got a sexy little 60-watt charger with 2 USB-C ports on it for only $50. Now, as the time of this writing, there's also a $30 off coupon. Can't see writing. Let me plug that back in because my stupid iPad is dead, so I'm actually using that charger. What the heck's going on? Hang on. One moment, please.
Do you need assistance?
I can't. That's weird. Can't plug it into the... That's weird. It's not plugging in all the way. I've got to do it through an adapter because it's USB-C. Now, it's the time... So hopefully my thing won't die in that length of time. Now, at the exact time of this recording, there's also a 30% off coupon on Amazon, bringing this down to $35. Remember how power delivery will allow the devices to negotiate how much power they use, so having 3 devices plugged in should work just fine. The next charger I want to talk about is the RAV Power Pioneer PD. Now, this is bigger than the Aki, but it's also a 61 watt power supply. It's 5 centimeters square and 3 centimeters thick, and it still only weighs a dainty 92 grams. At 61 watts, it's the same power as the one that comes with the 13-inch MacBook Pro. But the RAV Power weighs 47% of what the Apple charger weighs. It's 50% of the volume. And at $49 and the Apple charger at $69, it's only 71% of the cost. Again, a no-brainer to pick up the RAV Power Pioneer D as your travel charger for your laptop. Now, I know my 16-inch MacBook Pro came with a 96-watt charger, but for a really long time, I've just been using a 65-watt charger when I travel. It's not as fast, but man, the size and weight are much more manageable. Now, I can cut that size and weight in half again. If you're a road warrior and want a small, light, inexpensive charger for your laptop, the RAV Power Pioneer PD is a great choice. Your only decision is whether you want it in black or white. Now, just after singing the praises of the RAV Power 61-watt charger, I want to tell you about the Eggtronic Sirius 65-watt PD charger. The weight is nearly identical to the RAV Power, and the volume is nearly the same, but the shape and the ergonomics of it are completely different. The Eggtronic Sirius is flatter and thinner, so instead of a cube-like form, it's 5 by 7 by 2 centimeters. They've also put some really clever engineering into the plug itself so that it kind of folds out in a unique way. It's kind of hard to describe, but one side sort of appears shorter than the other as the two plugs kind of fan out of the charger. It's very pleasing and clever, as I said. It also comes with a really nice braided USB-C cable that's nearly 6 feet long. Might be too long. The Sirius also comes in black or white. Oh, there goes Siri responding to me as I say Sirius. Okay, that's fine. Thank you, Siri.
Pokemon the series.
Okay, that's enough. Hush up. All right. Well, I hope all of your devices went off too. Anyway, it comes in black or white. There's one major drawback, though, to the Eggtronic Sirius. It costs $100 on Amazon. So instead of being less expensive than the Apple 61-watt charger, it actually costs 45% more. It is beautiful, and the engineering they put into it is lovely, and it does come with that crazy long braided cable, but the cost might be prohibitively too high. Now, you know I love my Amazon affiliate links, as I believe I've mentioned already, but I do double check from time to time on whether it's actually a good deal. When this came out so expensive, I went to the Eggtronic website and I found that it was only $80 at store.eggtronic.com. And of course, there's a link in the show notes. Then I took a look at the shipping, and that's where things got weird. It offered me two options: $20 for express shipping or spedizione lente 4 to 5 giorni lavorativi for $7. Okay. I went off to translate.google.com and I determined that they were saying slow shipping 4 to 5 business days for $7, evidently in Italian. The Amazon price of $100 was free shipping for Prime members. So if you went slow shipping from where appears to be Italy, you'd be saving about $13 if you go direct. The interesting thing about them being Italian is that they show this giant list of countries they'll ship to, which is great. But it's a US plug on the Eggtronic Sirius. I had it around on their site and I couldn't find a European plug. So you can have it shipped to you, but it's a US plug when you get it. Now, I know the Eggtronic Sirius costs a grip, as Rob Dunwood would say, but it's also a delightful piece of hardware and probably the one I'll choose to carry around with me. But do note that I didn't pay for it myself. Now, I'm so excited about the effect gallium nitride is having on wall chargers that I wondered why we aren't seeing a similar level of product shrinkage in battery chargers. So I asked my resident electrical engineer, Steve, why that was. He explained to me that the main purpose of wall chargers is to convert the AC power from the wall into DC power required by our portable devices. With batteries, they already provide DC power, so no conversion is required, so no gallium nitride is needed for batteries. The bottom line is that we now have a fantastic set of options to reduce the weight, volume, and even cost of the chargers that we all tote around from home to the coffee shop to work or even distant lands. My shoulder and my pocketbook are eternally grateful to Navitas for their technological advancements with gallium nitride. Woo.
A long
there
one.
we go. Yeah.
Long
So,
but good.
yeah, I enjoyed myself with that one. Aren't these cute? I do
Yeah.
have to figure out.
Did you hold that? You held that up, right? Everyone could see those.
Yeah, so that's the Rav
Nope,
Power.
hold on.
Look how
Let
little
me,
it is.
Let me zoom in on that.
The pictures I put into the show notes are
Rotate.
probably a little more illustrative. Where do you want it? Yes,
Just-
I get it, Steve. Steve is doing Busy Bee right now. Does anybody know who Busy Bee is?
That's a pretty obscure reference. I'm not sure anyone would get that.
All right. Does anybody know what that is? Nope. All right. I'm not going to do much talking from
We'll
here
just
on out.
let that one be. Let that one percolate. Like Romper Room. Well, that's a good guess, but that's not it.
Wait, why am I not getting... Oh, that's right. I can't scroll with this. What the heck?
That's a New Zealand icon? Busy Bee is a New Zealand icon. Probably not
Really?
the one we're talking about, but
Discord has crashed for me.
on you?
You guys can still hear me, I guess. But yeah, it's not doing
yeah,
anything.
it appears we can. Visually, I can hear you.
Visually, I can hear you.
Your green light is lighting up, which means and I have you muted in Discord, but your green light is coming on. So I think that's an affirmative.
All right. Well, I won't touch it, but I can't scroll, so I can't read the show note. If anybody's talking to me, you'll have to let me know.
Talking to you. Oh, you mean chatting?
Yeah.
Okay, now we can chat behind her back. Oh, I should have chatted that.
I could bring it up on actually, here's what I could do. I could do Discord on my iPad mini. I'll come in twice. I'll come in as a lurker. Okay, let's see. Technological advancements with gallium nitride.
I'm with Scott Taylor of Sense, and I purposely went to talk to these people because they've got a way of monitoring the energy usage in your home, and it looks like it's a really intriguing idea. Tell us about it, Scott.
Yeah, sure. That's right. So it's a product that installs inside the electric panel. It's a very easy 15-minute install, and it measures the electricity of the whole home, and it can also measure the solar production that's coming from panels on the roof if you have them. What we do is we study that signal, and we're able to break that down into which appliances are coming on and off and how much energy they're using. So that can tell you where you're wasting energy in your house, whether you're using things efficiently or not, how much of your solar energy you're using if you have solar. But it also tells you things like when your microwave was used, did you remember to close the garage door when you used it? Just about anything in your house.
Okay. Why am I listening to that? I was listening to that because I was playing around trying to watch Discord. The last thing I can see is she insulted me in Italian. All right, I'm going to keep going here.
Energy too. Fantastic.
Great.
Thank you very much, Scott.
Thank you.
Well, I was so excited about that I immediately went to Amazon and looked it up and found it on there, and I put it on my birthday list. So I hope to get one of those for my birthday, and it'd be really fun to tell you guys all about whether it actually works as well as they said. Hey, everything's vaporware. You can't possibly buy anything that exists at CES. Just remember that. Maybe you can't get the quantum computing stuff just yet. Okay. And one more. Uh-oh. Are you frozen, Steve? Oh, no, you're just sitting really still. I was going to say, no, I don't know if anybody's here.
I think I'm here. Is my video
Yes,
moving?
you're here. All right. Copy link. No, I didn't say to open Safari. All right.
You don't hear Allison in Discord. Oh, they can't hear you in Discord now.
Really? That's what I thought.
You said it crashed, right?
Yeah, that's why I thought. I was surprised you said there was nothing wrong.
No, but I was continuing to see your voice. Now I can't.
You
so
listen to me
changed.
elsewhere.
No,
okay, so let me disconnect it. Hang on.
So we'll try and get her back in Discord, folks.
Yeah, Discord is just stopped responding.
Planking? I'm not going to plank, John.
Usually when I force quit it, though, it won't open back up. This is not going to be much fun for the live show, is it?
Oh, there you are.
It went right in.
I think you might be back. Can you hear her now, folks, in Discord?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Good. All right.
Okay. How long was I gone? And you guys didn't even notice. Jeez.
Let me scroll back.
The last thing I think was working was when I spoke Italian.
Silence. Are we supposed to hear? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I noticed. I thought it was just me.
Okay.
Oh, Sandy noticed and
So
sent
maybe-
several messages.
5:56.
See?
So it's been 4 minutes?
You don't. I think Steve's the only one who didn't notice.
Well, I hear you in both places. Well,
Yeah,
actually,
that's
I
the
just
problem.
Hear you in
But you
email.
should be watching everything Sandy says.
I should. Need to
Actually-
pay attention to both wingman and wingwoman.
Okay, hang on a sec. Hey, everybody. I shouldn't say that because
What was
this
that?
next thing. Yeah. It was vaporware. The next thing is vaporware. Tell you guys all about whether it actually works as well as they said.
Everybody's interested in ways for us to find better sources of water and to get sources to get water to people.
Wait a minute.
This one's vaporware.
Are you out of order? I thought Sense was next.
I just finished playing Sense.
Whoops. Okay. Well, I know what it was. You were silent, so I couldn't hear.
Yeah, it's just so fun.
No,
As
I
well
guess
as
that
they
doesn't
said.
work, does it?
Everybody's interested.
It works as well as they said.
Everybody's interested in ways for us to find better sources of water and.
Hey, is anybody here this week in the live show who wasn't in the live show last week?
I don't think Marty was in last week. I don't think
think he
Alistair
was.
was.
No, Marty was.
Marty,
Oh, no,
Alistair
Alistair wasn't. Alistair, did you get the Easter egg at the end of the show? Oh, that's right.
Kevin? You weren't here last week.
Did you get the Easter egg at the end of the show, Kevin? All right, I'm gonna close it out. Here we go. I thought he was, but he had to leave early. I don't know. Ark of the Diver. Does anybody ever understand what Frank's talking about? All
Yeah,
right,
that's
here we go.
Steve Winwood, I think. Nice song.
Yeah. Oh, he came late. That's what it was. Oh, don't recall hearing anything. You have to listen past the end of the music. All right, here goes. Well, try it again.
Coming.
When I took the sip of water, all I could think of when I looked at Steve was I took a sip of the water and I wanted to say, "That's good bass." If you don't know that little joke there, ask your parents, kids. Well, that's going to wind us up for this week. Don't forget to send in your dumb questions, comments, and suggestions. You can do that by emailing me at allison@podfeed.com. And you can follow me on Twitter @podfeed. Remember, everything good starts with podfeed.com. You want to become a patron of the Podfeed podcast? Podfeed.com/Patreon. Want to donate just one time? Try podfeed.com/PayPal. Want to join our Facebook group? Podfeed.com/Facebook. Want to get into the Slack community? You can talk to Bart in there. Podfeed.com/Slack. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, but not on Super Bowl Sunday, head on over to podfeed.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed.
John got it. Bassomatic.
Yep.
He was born the same year we were, so
Okay. So he
he
cheating,
probably grew up
huh?
with SNL while he was in college, like we did.
I don't know why that struck me. The best part is Steve saw me thinking it.
Man, that's good bass.
That's good bass. You should drop a link to that.
And,
in the
and
show
then
notes.
she sips it, and this is after Aykroyd throws the fish in and stirs it up. Now I think they may have done a cut when he poured into
Maybe
Elaine.
you think?
Who was the actress?
Lorraine Newman.
Lorraine Newman. Yes.
Oh, there it is.
No, that's
Wait,
Batomatic.
that's Batomatic.
Batomatic. That's a different
That's
one.
not Bassomatic. They
That's,
didn't put a bat in there, did they?
Oh.
Wrong wine. Have another sip. Subscribed. Oh. Okay. That needs to be more like there. Enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. Okay, good. You heard the, there it is. Thank you, Rick. So,
There we
Alistair,
go.
you heard it. Well, the problem is the music actually fades out to 0 at a, like it's really, really, really quiet at the very end. So you would have thought that it was completely over. But it was fun. Like I said, I made myself laugh, right?
And if you can't make
right.
yourself laugh,
What's the point?
no one can.
All right. It is 6:05 and I need a glass of wine. I am done.
Medicine.
Yep. Gonna need my medicine. Let's say goodbye to the audience here. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, Rose. Mwah. Let me watch and make sure I can tell. Actually, this isn't very, ooh, I could have had my cardboard box down.
That high-tech cardboard box.
Yeah. What's it? Oh, it's still 5,000 RPM. I think it's just because I have my mic input up so high. Bye, everybody. Oh, Kevin sees Dan Aykroyd in town occasionally. That's crazy.
Oh,
all right,
nice.
cut us off, Steve.
All right. Good night, Gracie.